The Dallas Cowboys are heading into a crucial stretch of the season, and the buzz around the team is intense. Fans have been eagerly watching every move, from the latest updates on injuries to the strategic decisions that could define the outcome of the upcoming games. One of the biggest storylines right now revolves around the health of the Cowboys roster. Injuries have been a constant challenge, and the team has been carefully managing players to ensure they are ready for the toughest matchups. Safety Elijah Clark and Donovan Wilson have been getting limited work in practice, signaling cautious optimism about their availability. Solomon Thomas missed a session with a calf issue, and his status is still uncertain as he recovers from the hit he took against the Cardinals. Tyler Smith appears to be in a manageable situation, and for the new faces like Rebel Overshone, this could be a season-defining moment as they step onto the field for their debuts. Looking across the league, the Raiders have their own injury concerns, but generally, their roster looks healthy. Lockett was limited early in the week due to age-related wear, and Dylan Parham is set to play, which strengthens a Raiders' offensive line that has struggled at times. For the Cowboys, the offensive line matchups are critical. Terrence Steele and Nathan Thomas could rotate at right tackle, especially facing a formidable pass rusher like Max Crosby. Crosby has seen his pressure rates fluctuate this season, partly because he is constantly facing double and triple teams. He is getting chip-blocked or double-teamed on nearly a third of his pass rushes, a career high for him. That makes the matchup on the right side of the Cowboys line particularly precarious. Extra support from tight ends or running backs will be essential. Leaving Steele or Thomas isolated against Crosby could lead to a tough day for Dallas. When it comes to the Raiders' offensive personnel, the two tight end packages demand attention. Brock Bowers has become a key focal point in their offense, with almost half of their snaps last week coming in multiple tight end sets. How the Cowboys respond will define the game. Do they bring 5 defensive linemen to the line? Do linebackers slide down into coverage? Or does the team rely on safety rotations? Man-to-man coverage has been a staple for Dallas in recent weeks, and Brock Bowers has historically been targeted heavily in these situations. Almost a third of the time he faces man coverage, he becomes the focal point of the passing game. The Cowboys need to decide whether to match personnel aggressively, focus on zone coverage, or find a hybrid approach. On the quarterback front, Geno Smith presents an interesting challenge. His ability to stretch the field vertically with deep throws makes him a threat, but he has struggled this year in efficiency metrics. Despite some below-average numbers, the Raiders will likely attempt to exploit the Cowboys' vulnerability in deep coverage. Deontay Thornton represents the primary vertical threat, tasked with stretching defenses and creating mismatches downfield. The Cowboys' defense has struggled with deep passes, ranking at the bottom in multiple categories, including total yards allowed and touchdowns conceded. Pressure up front will be vital, but containing Thornton and any additional receivers on vertical routes could make or break the defensive game plan. Running back matchups are equally critical. Javonte Williams thrives between the tackles, averaging over 5 yards per carry in inside runs and forcing a significant number of missed tackles. The Raiders, meanwhile, allow relatively few yards per carry inside, but they have given up the most touchdowns on those runs. The battle in the trenches will be intense, as the Cowboys continue to rely on their ground game to control the clock and dictate tempo. How the offensive line executes, how the running backs find gaps, and how the Raiders' defensive front responds will all contribute to whether Dallas can establish the run and sustain drives. Turning to individual players to watch, Dak Prescott remains the centerpiece of the offense. His performance in recent weeks has been inconsistent, and the red zone execution has not always been sharp. Prescott's ability to lead the offense and make precise reads will be the deciding factor in whether the Cowboys can capitalize on scoring opportunities. The team needs a high-level performance from him to complement the defense and give Dallas a chance to secure victories. Wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens have been efficient, but have not consistently produced explosive plays. Lamb, despite another impressive 1,000-yard pace, must overcome moments of inefficiency and continue to provide a reliable target in crucial situations. Tight end Jake Ferguson has shown promise in fantasy football circles, but his production has been limited. With only modest yardage and receptions, the Cowboys need him to step up, especially in creating separation and turning short passes into meaningful gains. His ability to contribute in the passing game, whether as a safety valve for Prescott or as a seam threat, will be important in keeping the Raiders' defense honest. Defensive newcomers like Quinnen Williams bring excitement, particularly in terms of how he might impact the defensive line rotations. His presence could create opportunities for teammates to make plays, adding versatility and depth to the defensive front. The Cowboys' backfield and linebacking core are also critical. Adjustments to personnel, especially with new additions, will be closely watched. Marvin Nova's contributions could become a game-changer, even if he is not at full snap count. Rotation among linebackers may provide fresh legs and strategic advantages, allowing Dallas to adapt to the Raiders' offensive schemes. Overall, the upcoming matchup presents multiple angles to explore. From quarterback efficiency to offensive line dynamics, from tight end matchups to running back performance, every decision on the field will have consequences. Fans are eagerly anticipating how the Cowboys will balance aggression and caution, leverage their star players, and execute a game plan that maximizes strengths while minimizing exposure to the Raiders' top threats. Looking deeper into the Cowboys' offensive strategy, the focus on exploiting matchups is critical. With Max Crosby creating constant pressure on the edge, the offensive line will need to adjust quickly. Terrence Steele and Nathan Thomas must find a rhythm and communicate seamlessly, particularly when facing heavy blitz packages or unexpected stunts from the Raiders' defensive front. The offensive line's performance will dictate how much time Dak Prescott has in the pocket and how effectively he can execute both the passing and running game. Every missed assignment could turn into a sack or a hurried throw, making cohesion in the trenches an absolute necessity. In terms of the passing game, Prescott's connection with his primary targets is more important than ever. CeeDee Lamb remains a dynamic option, capable of stretching the field and creating space underneath for other receivers. George Pickens offers a complementary threat, particularly in intermediate routes, and the two of them need to consistently win their matchups against a Raiders secondary that has shown moments of vulnerability. Tight ends like Jake Ferguson add another dimension to the passing attack. Ferguson has the chance to exploit mismatches in coverage and create opportunities over the middle, especially when the Raiders deploy heavy formations that could leave linebackers in one-on-one situations. The timing of throws, route precision, and ability to gain yards after the catch will all be crucial for maintaining offensive momentum. The Cowboys' running game is equally pivotal. Javonte Williams has shown a remarkable ability to gain yardage between the tackles and create explosive plays when defenses least expect it. The Raiders' inside run defense is solid on a yards per carry basis, but they have allowed an unusually high number of touchdowns in these situations. That indicates potential vulnerabilities in goal line or short yardage scenarios, which Dallas could exploit to control the game clock and open up play-action opportunities. The synergy between the offensive line and the running backs will be a determining factor in whether the Cowboys can establish a balanced defensive attack. Defensively, the Cowboys have challenges to navigate. The Raiders' multi-tight end packages, with Brock Bowers as the primary focus, demand careful attention. Dallas must decide whether to commit more personnel to the line of scrimmage, bring linebackers into coverage, or rely on safety rotations to contain Bowers without compromising run defense. Man coverage has been a staple recently, and Bowers has historically been targeted heavily in these situations. Coordinating assignments, disguising coverage, and maintaining gap integrity will be key to limiting explosive plays and forcing the Raiders into manageable situations. Deontay Thornton presents another vertical threat, forcing the Cowboys to maintain disciplined, deep coverage. Dallas has struggled with deep passes this season, ranking near the bottom in total yards allowed and touchdowns conceded. Quarterbacks pushing the ball downfield against Dallas have found success, and the Cowboys must focus on keeping Thornton and any complementary receivers in check. Pressuring Geno Smith without leaving lanes open downfield will be critical. The defensive line must balance maintaining leverage against the run with generating pressure on passing downs, and the secondary must be alert to avoid overcommitting or misalignments that could lead to big plays. Linebackers and rotational players like Marvin Nova and Quinnen Williams provide flexibility. Their ability to rotate without losing defensive effectiveness adds strategic options. Nova's presence, even if not at full snap count, can change blocking schemes for the Raiders, freeing up teammates to make plays. Quinnen Williams' deployment along the defensive line could disrupt blocking assignments and create opportunities for edge pressure or interior penetration. The team's depth will be tested, and the way coaches utilize rotational packages could define the success of Dallas' defensive strategy. Special teams and situational football also play a role. Field position, third down conversions, and red zone efficiency are key metrics that could swing the game. Dallas must focus on converting short yardage situations, maintaining composure on kick returns, and preventing explosive plays that could shift momentum. Every detail matters in a tightly contested matchup, and execution in these areas can determine whether the Cowboys control the game or find themselves playing catch-up. In addition, the mental and emotional aspect of the game cannot be overlooked. The Cowboys have faced criticism and pressure throughout the season, and how they respond to adversity will impact performance. Leadership from veteran players, communication on the field, and maintaining focus under pressure are all crucial elements. Dak Prescott, as the team's quarterback, carries the responsibility of orchestrating the offense, reading defenses, and making quick adjustments. His decision-making, combined with the ability of skilled players to execute routes, find gaps, and create separation, will define the offensive output. Defensive matchups are equally influenced by preparation and anticipation. The Cowboys' ability to disguise coverages, adjust to Raiders' motions, and force predictable tendencies could make a significant difference. Reading formations, recognizing personnel packages, and executing pre-snap adjustments will test the discipline and awareness of the defensive unit. Whether it's covering tight ends, limiting vertical threats, or containing inside runs, the defensive game plan must be flexible, yet precise. Ultimately, this matchup presents a high-stakes challenge on both sides of the ball. Offensive execution, defensive discipline, rotational depth, and situational awareness all converge to create a complex chess match. The Cowboys must capitalize on matchups, manage the clock effectively, and maintain mental sharpness throughout the game. From explosive receivers to versatile tight ends, from a dynamic running game to a pressure-driven defensive line, every player has a role to play. How the team executes these strategies under game conditions will determine not only the outcome of this critical matchup, but also provide a window into the team's ability to contend in the later stages of the season. With each snap carrying weight, the Cowboys must blend aggression with calculated strategy, exploiting weaknesses while mitigating risks. Every block, route, tackle, and throw contributes to the larger picture. The team's depth, preparation, and adaptability will be tested as the Raiders bring multiple threats to the field. From quarterback reads to secondary coverage, from running back decisions to offensive line cohesion, the Cowboys' execution will reflect the sum of preparation, talent, and resilience. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are heating up across the NFL, and all eyes are on Dallas. Sources close to the Cowboys organization hint at a seismic shakeup in the defensive line, with one name echoing louder than the rest: Brian Burns. While nothing has been officially confirmed, insiders suggest that Dallas is positioning itself to secure the talented edge rusher, a move that could instantly redefine the team's defensive identity. Fans are buzzing, imagining a front line that could terrorize quarterbacks from coast to coast, and analysts are already speculating on the ripple effects throughout the league. The Cowboys have long been hungry for a dominant presence on defense, and if these rumors bear fruit, Burns could be the missing piece to a unit desperate for consistency and impact. His speed, agility, and relentless pursuit are exactly the kind of traits that Dallas has been eyeing, And word around the locker room is that the organization is ready to make bold moves to bring him into the fold. Conversations with agents, subtle hints during press appearances, and cryptic posts on social media have all fueled the rumor mill to a fever pitch. Some say this potential acquisition isn't just about talent. It's about signaling a new era. The Cowboys could be sending a message. The defense is no longer a secondary storyline. The idea of pairing Burns with the existing stars has pundits theorizing about sack totals, turnovers, and game-changing moments that could define a season. Rival teams are reportedly taking note, aware that Dallas may be quietly orchestrating a defensive revolution. While nothing is set in stone, speculation alone has ignited excitement among fans who are already envisioning the gridiron fireworks. Could Brian Burns be the key to Dallas' defensive dominance? If these murmurs are more than just smoke, the Cowboys might just be about to unleash a force that the league hasn't seen in years. Until the official announcement comes, the chatter won't die down. Every tip, every rumor, every insider whisper will be dissected by eager eyes, waiting to see if Dallas' defensive dreams finally become reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.